Okay, so today's video is gonna be one of the most important videos that you're probably ever gonna watch on my channel and probably on YouTube in general. This is gonna be your new go-to guide updated for the crypto bull run 2024-2025 to make 100x plus in crypto gaming and what steps you need to follow to make sure you don't sabotage your own success. This is crucial, and I feel like all of these big YouTubers are gatekeepers acting out of their own interest. And just honestly, even the other videos that I found on this topic are just full of crap. So I'm gonna keep it real with you, straight to the point, and disclaimers. This is just, of course, my personal opinion. None of this is to be taken as financial advice. And I'm just gonna tell you what my plan is, what the plan for my private group is. And of course, after that, make your own judgment and draw your own decisions. This is just my guidelines or what I'm doing myself to create generational wealth. This is a coin bull run, so I hope that you can take some value out of this and you can learn something. And that would just generally make me happy. I have a lot of points for you. They're not in any particular order. There's no like, oh, step to step. It's just like a bunch of points that you should probably follow or take inspirations from. The first one, realistic expectation, knowing what to avoid. A lot of these YouTubers, they are big, they have hundreds of thousands of followers. They put this unrealistic thumbnail saying, oh, Beam is gonna 1000x or Immutable X is gonna do 100x. If you're new to the game of crypto, if you're new to crypto gaming in general, you might fall for this, but I wanna keep it real with you. So let's just open the crypto gaming, top gaming tokens by market capitalization on CoinMarketCap. And the first one, of course, is Immutable X. This is a gaming ecosystem, it's one of the best gaming projects out there. If somebody tells you that out of something that is 4 billion in market cap and is the top gaming project out there, that you're gonna get 100x plus, they're just full of crap. You need to understand that all of these big projects, it can be Immutable X, or there's been a lot of talks in the last few months about Beam and how this is the best ecosystem in gaming. Listen, it might as well be the case. But you also need to understand that this is not going to set you financially free if you invest a few $1,000s. If you put like $3,000 and this goes a 5x, by the way, that's a life-changing money for a lot of people. I'm not disagreeing on that. But if you have 3K, you do a 5x, you're going to make 15 grand. Is that going to change your life? Maybe in your case it will. If it was for me, it definitely wouldn't change a single thing. If you want to make $1 million, let's say, you will have to put $200 million if you're making a 5x out of Beam. Beam is not going to do 100x. It's not going to do a 1000x, despite the fact that this is a fantastic project. And don't get me wrong, I don't want you to misunderstand all the points that I'm making, because all of these projects have their place. But it's one thing to build your safety net, to invest in low-risk projects, to safely make a 2, 3, 4, 5x. And it's another thing to catch the next 100x in crypto gaming, to be multiple 100x's in profit, to make a 1000x even in some cases. You're not gonna get them with this project. They are so freaking big. They are super shielded by everything. Guess what? If everybody's shielding this in the first place, you're probably too late to the party. You're gonna become the exit liquidity, or chances are that you're just not gonna create wealth out of picks. They are so big and so popular. So avoid these big projects. You're late to them. There's no point. If I'm investing into something that is relatively safe, I would rather invest into something like a layer 1 crypto, you know, proof of work, a decentralized, or even centralized for that matter. Like, depends on the context, of course. The problem that I have, it's not the people that buy this project, because by all means, I would consider even having Beam as part of my portfolio, but for a different purpose. The problem that I have is for the people that have unrealistic expectations and they think they can do 100x by buying all these popular and massive crypto gaming picks. Very similar to the first point, actually, is the focus on the market cap of a crypto. This is something that you absolutely have to do. This is extremely correlated to what I was saying right here. And again, if it's 1 billion market cap, 1 billion plus, if it's billions of market cap, you're not gonna make this 100x plus. If it's even 100 million, if it's even below the 1 billion, you're probably still not gonna get hundreds of X's. So another example is Heroes of Mavia. A lot of people are super bullish on this project. This is super overhyped, and you know, for good reason. I think that this is actually a very good project, but I am also very realistic with it. And I know that this is still too big of a market cap for making considerable X's. If you do a 20x out of something like this, it's the most bullish scenario ever. Probably you're gonna fall into the 5 to 10x category. You know, it's 173 million in market cap. What is my conclusion out of this? Is that if you're looking to make multiple 100x's, you need to invest minimum into something that is below $100 million in market cap. My golden zone would be 10 million or below. This is crucial and extremely important. I'm gonna repeat it again. You can't expect 100x into anything that is above $100 million, and my guideline would be $10 million and below. For instance, a choice that would be very popular for me right now would be Little Up Games. This falls completely under my recommendation guideline, is $7.5 million. So even though you didn't buy here, perhaps you could have done a 1000x if you bought here. But let's say that you're new to Little Up Games and you bought the dip right here, or you start buying right now, you buy your first bag. You might be in 100x territory simply because of the market cap of the crypto. I'm not going to touch other aspects. I'm not even going to talk about what this project is. It's focused on esports. I have a dozen videos about Little Up Games, so I don't care of clarifying more. But it's just to pass my point. The market cap, focus on the market cap. The market cap is actually the only thing that matters. And a lot of people also, if they're complete beginners, they think that the price of a crypto means anything. No, I'm sorry to break it to you, but the price of a crypto project does not mean anything, okay? The only thing that matters is taking into account the price and the circulating supply and the total supply, etc. So tokens in circulations multiplied by the price, you get the market cap of a crypto. That is not rocket science, but that is gonna tell you what potential a project can have. All other things being equal, the narrative, pumping potential, etc. All other things being equal, the market cap is the most important thing. The point number 3 is focusing on the age of a crypto. This is again something that is super important. If you see what my gaming portfolio is being built on, I don't have a single gaming project that has gone through a bull run before. And this is for a variety of different reasons. So first of all, I want you to just avoid the so-called dinosaur projects, the projects that have gone through a previous bull run. I'm just gonna make an example. Look at Axie Infinity. This was one of the top gainers when it came to gaming in the previous bull run. Look what it did. It just pumped forever and then it crashed hard. These projects dump a lot. They're gaming altcoins. After a bull run, they'll go 90% plus down. They're even going to go up to 100% down. Perhaps they're even going to fall into the unknown. Now, am I saying that Axie Infinity is dead and is going to make you extremely poor if you invest on it? Probably not. But you're going to make a few X's maybe when you could make 100x plus into something that hasn't gone through a bull run before. Look at the price action of Axie Infinity right here. It could be, you could look at the bigger picture and think that Lit has the same exact action of Axie Infinity here. You see? When it came this high, this could be considered Little Up Games in this very moment. And you could look into it a couple of years from now, after the peak of the bull run, and Little Up Games would have had a top like this, and then crashed hard, of course, like any other crypto gaming project does. That is so important. If a project has gone through a bull run before, you will have this behavior. A lot of people think that if you just throw money into something like this, it's going to surpass the previous all-time high. Unfortunately, I'm sorry to break it to you, but this is not like the stock market. A lot of people that maybe are older or maybe they're just accustomed to the stock markets, they think that in crypto, everything goes up eventually, etc. But this is far from the truth. This is not like stocks. Crypto, a lot of things are Ponzi's. Most of these projects are literally scams. They're going to disappear in a couple of years. What your definition of scam is, I don't care, and that's the story for another video. But what I'm telling you is that you should never invest, especially for these niches, in projects that have gone through a bull run before. For other niches, we can make different conversations. And of course, you shouldn't make the point of Bitcoin, you shouldn't make the point of Ethereum, of Polygon. These projects are solid, but I'm talking for the tiny altcoins, the gaming projects. There is not a single gaming project in which you should invest right now that has gone through a bull run before. Point number 4, never FOMO at a launch of a project. Even if you have the best project on the market, you should never buy a project on release. This is crucial, and it's something that so many people still lose a ton of money on. And I'm going to show you exactly what I mean. Let's take a look at Portal. This is a very promising gaming project ecosystem, but there's something I need to tell you. If we look at the chart right here, look, it released at $4. Now it's $1. So if you had bought a release, you would have lost 60% of your initial investment. You had 10 grand, you would have 4 grand now. Why? Because some people participate to pre-sales. These are private sales, seed sale, public sale, it doesn't matter. For the context of this video, let's keep it simple. I assume that you're a beginner or trying to learn new things about this. These people buy the projects at a much lower price than the project listed right here. Therefore, let's say that they bought the project for 40 cents in this case, and the listing price now is $4. It means that they are 10x of return on their investment. Because they are 10x, they're not going to wait for another 10x to be 100x. They're going to dump their bags on you. So if you buy the project at release, you become the exit liquidity of the pre-sale investors. I cannot stress this enough. If you're so excited about the project, which by all means you have all the freedom to do so, wait for the pre-sale people to dump their tokens, and then when they're dumped, when the price hits an all-time low, you can jump in and you will have bought at a much lower price than the one that you would have bought otherwise at release. This is crucial, and it blows my mind that so many people still get it wrong. It's not rocket science, it's not something so hard to comprehend, and if you just follow this tip, you're gonna save yourself so much money. It doesn't matter if this is a 100x project. Guess what? The 100x that you had on the books if you had bought the low is now transforming into a 30x. So that is life-changing money for a lot of people, especially if you catch projects that are gonna do multiple 100x's. You can sabotage yourself completely if you buy a launch. So always wait for the all-time low. Okay, so point number 5 is the dilution of a project. What do I mean by dilution? Dilution is essentially how many more tokens are going to be in circulations at the time of you selling a project compared to how many tokens that were in circulations at the time you bought. That is the dilution between buying and selling, specifically that I'm referring to. Why does this matter? This matters because if you buy, let's say, a project that had 1,000 tokens in circulations, to make things simple, and then you sell the project and it has 4,000 tokens in circulations, the project had a 4x dilution. So if we assume that all of the people that participated to pre-sales dumped their tokens every time that they got their tokens unlocked, the price is going to be the same. I hope that you can follow, and if you're looking for something specifically in detail, I actually have a guide in my private group, and I'm going to discuss all the benefits of my private group and everything surrounding it at the end of this video. So if you guys are interested, you're going to hear the talk. But one of the quick ways to verifying dilution information is actually going on cryptorank.io. So I'm gonna analyze one of the most famous and popular gaming projects right now, Miria. I used to hold this, but I kept it for a short-term trade because I know that the dilution of this project is very bad. So I'm gonna show you exactly what I mean. Right now, there are 20.7% of tokens in circulation. Let's say that I wanna sell in Q4 2025, which a lot of people assume to be the peak of the next bull run. Let's say that I sell on December the 8th. The circulating supply is going to be 52.1%, meaning that the dilution of this project is going to be from today 2.5x. 2.5x the number of tokens in circulation as there are right now. I usually try to stick with projects that are 2x dilution or less. Does it mean that I'm never going to invest into projects that have more than that? No, far from it. But it's definitely something to keep in mind that if a project has a big dilution like this, chances are that it's not going to perform as well because all of the pre-sale people are going to take their profits. So something very important for you guys to understand that so many people just completely disregard and end up not doing so many returns because of it. Point number 6 is the niche of the crypto gaming project. Of course, we're already in crypto gaming, but there's so many different things in crypto gaming. So for instance, Portal, Miria, Playable, these are gaming ecosystems, and they can be anything. They can be a layer 2, they can just be a platform for developers to build their games on. Maybe they have external studios, maybe they only have their own studios. These projects tend to have much bigger market caps. Then we have mobile gaming aggregators, such as OTK, which is my favorite pick in this field, or PZP, PlaysUp. There's plenty of other picks. These tend to do extremely well and start from very small amounts of market cap, and tend to do extremely well because they're very simple to use. It's games that can be mainstream because you're gonna play them on your phone. Maybe they have a single app, and you're gonna have like dozens of games that people are gonna get rewards for. And the most important thing for these ones is that people can actually get money through it, whether in tokens for the project, or maybe loyalty points, or maybe directly fiat, whatever that is. These tend to be the most successful projects, and you can see that OTK has been one of the best performing gaming projects in the entirety of the bear market. So I do believe that it's going to do extremely well when the actual peak of the bull run comes around. I also invest in other stuff like Lila Games that I was showing you before. It's a game aggregator focused on esports, so titles focus specifically on esports. Then there's also other game aggregators, maybe for like AAA titles like AWT. We also have Souls. There's plenty of other projects that are also in this field that I'm very bullish on. Just be aware of what market cap a project can achieve, and I would generally avoid, as a rule of thumb, the projects that are a single game. So for instance, Shrapnel, which, by the way, I held for a bit and I flipped it. I made a decent profit. We did that in my private group. But if I'm thinking about the long term, this is 63 million in market cap already, and it's just a single game. I usually tend to avoid the projects that are only a single game because can only go so far. The game is going to get boring. The hype is going to die down at some point. So this is also something very important. This is a game that looks amazing. If this was a gaming studio to release multiple games, it probably would be one of the best picks. But again, I also need to understand what the broader situation is. The market cap is quite big. So just keep this in mind when investing into gaming projects, that the niche of gaming, the sub-niche, or what you want to call it, I don't care, but it's so freaking important. So absolutely something that you need to do your due diligence on. Point number 7, this is very easy and very quick, but diversification. Like I said that there's different sub-niches, you also want to sort of diversify the gaming investments that you make. You will not build an entire portfolio into a pick like Shrapnel, or even into a pick like OTK that is probably going to do better than Shrapnel. You want to diversify your allocations a bit. If you want to go towards these projects that are only 100x plus, by all means do so. But I always preach the building of a safety net. Whether it is on gaming or in other industries, let's talk about your portfolio overall. You always want a portion of your portfolio that is going to do maybe a 5 to 10x, that is going to cover your losses, because you can't have a single portfolio with just 100x plus potential projects, because one of them maybe is going to rug. One of them maybe is not going to perform as you planned. In that case, you need to cover your losses. So diversify your investments, have a few gaming projects, don't just have like 1 or 2 gaming projects, and make sure that you have some safer picks and then some higher risk picks. In that way, you're going to be covered for your losses for all the projects that maybe do very bad, or they rug, they underperform, etc. The safety net picks, even if they do a 5 to 10x, they're all going to cover your losses of the higher risk projects that have not performed as planned. Point number 8, getting before the exchange listings. This is so freaking important, and it blows my mind that people still don't get it. People still don't get it. So I'm going to show it to you. Let's take a look at Little Up Games. I know I'm just naming it, but it's just a random project that just makes my point come across. I could use any of the new gaming projects. Look at the exchange listing situation. What can you tell me immediately? The tier 1 exchange listings are not here. What are the tier 1 exchange listings? The tier 1 exchange listings, I would assume at least Coinbase, Binance, and Kraken, just to make it super easy. I know it could be 5 or 6 or 7, but I'm just naming the top 3 crypto exchanges in the world. Not for trading volume necessarily, but for user base, for reviews, for feedback, and for popularity. These are it. The normies, the people that are going to become your exit liquidity, the people that lose money in crypto, the people that don't know anything about crypto, they don't even know what Maxi is. They don't even know what Bitget is. And rest assured that they definitely don't know what a decentralized exchange like PancakeSwap and Uniswap is. Therefore, they're going to buy on this Coinbase, on Binance. So If these projects are not listed on the tier 1 exchanges, the price is gonna skyrocket when these are listed to tier 1 exchanges. If a Binance listing is missing and I know that this project has a lot of potential, I want to bet on the fact that it's going to get listed on Binance, then it's a big deal because I'm there for a lot of potential returns. If it doesn't get listed, well, maybe I'm not going to get as many returns as I was expecting. But if it does, then rest assured that your bag is gonna be super full and heavy. And all of these normies, as we call them, they're gonna become your exit liquidity. Also, another thing that is correlated to this is that exchange listings are buy the rumor, sell the news events. What does that mean? If you don't know what it means, it's essentially this. Okay, so Lil Up Games announces on X that it's gonna get listed on Binance. People FOMO in. Everybody buys, the price skyrockets, etc., etc. But after the project is listed, the price dumps because people sell the news. People buy the rumor, they buy the announcement of the project being listed there, but they're gonna sell when the project actually gets listed. This is the buy the rumor, sell the news strategy, and it's everywhere in crypto. And we all know that for historical data, when the projects are listed on exchanges, they always tend to drop, at least in the short term. This is definitely something that you want to play around with, maybe with taking some profits, or maybe with buying back lower when the price actually drops. I didn't even count the points, but they're actually quite a lot. They're actually more than I thought. So number 9 is take cold storage seriously. This is very important. Don't be that beginner that leaves their funds on exchanges. And this is so crucial to make a 100x as any of the other points, because if you lose your funds, if you're victim to a hack, if you have your funds on an exchange that goes bust, if the exchange basically disappears overnight, you're gonna lose all of your money. So you're definitely not gonna make that 100x. The thing that you need to do is put your funds to cold storage, to a hardware wallet. There's plenty of videos on the internet on what wallet to choose. I do recommend Tangem, not only because I'm an affiliate, but simply because I use Tangem for 99% of my crypto holdings. And with my promo code CIPRO, automatically applied when you click the link down in the description, that is going to give you a 10% off. And for the 2-card set is only $49. It's the best wallet out there, like easily for coin support, for user interface, for operability, and just ease of use. I've had like 60 or 70-year-olds using this and they didn't have any issues. So it says a lot for me. So I do recommend you guys this. Let me know if you use my code so I can actually personally thank you. I'm sure that you're gonna love it. Know your keys, know your crypto. Everybody says this on the internet, but it's actually completely accurate. So take cold storage seriously. I cannot stress this enough. Point number 10 is be patient. Do the opposite thing than the majority of people are doing. You will see your investment do nothing for months in some cases. You will see, for instance, that Lil Up Games hasn't gotten an all-time high for a few months now. It got its all-time high in December last year. Now we're in April and the price is down. If you're not able to endure this swing in price for the red, chances are that you're not going to get a 100x. You're going to be extremely far for it. You must be a stoic investor. You must not be an emotional investor. The emotional investor buys here because he FOMOs at the top, at the all-time high, and then he sells down because he thinks that the project is rugging. You don't want to be that kind of guy. If anything, maybe you bought here, you take your initial investment out here, you keep DCAing all the way through, and you keep buying the dips. You buy the dips, you make a lot of money in the long run. It's not that hard to understand, but this is the main error that people do and that keeps you poor in the long term because you just don't understand this. How can I stress it enough? But people are just emotional. Don't be emotional. If you can't handle your project doing absolutely jack shit for a bunch of months, if you can't handle your project being in the red and to keep dipping for a few months and doing absolutely nothing, like I was saying, for maybe months or perhaps even 1 year, you are not worthy of getting a 100x. So get your emotions in check and perhaps you're gonna end up making a lot of money in the long run. Okay, so for the point number 11, I think that this is actually the most important one after the cold storage. This is getting an exit strategy in place. It's all good and all to see all of these crazy swings in the green and making thousands, if not millions of dollars in profit during a bull run. But until you actually cash out, the money doesn't really exist. The money is really not yours. The money is not sitting in your bank account or in stable coins in your hardware wallet. If you don't have the money there, you haven't made any money. I'm sorry to break it to you. So understanding the way that you're gonna take this profits out is just as important, if not more important, of actually gem hunting and buying the right project at the right time. It's so freaking important. And if you go and see all these big YouTubers, all they talk about is price target and I'm gonna sell when the price goes here. And unfortunately, this is the exit strategy that the majority of crypto YouTubers talk about. And this is why I disagree so much with the information that you find online, because it's complete bogus. I'm sorry, but that is not the strategy to go for. I'm not going to give you my entire exit plan and how I'm going to take profits for the bull market, but I'm going to tell you this. I am calculating all of this, not on price targets, not on TA, although TA is definitely one of the things that I'm going to take into account. But I'm just running this out of market signals. This can be a bunch of different factors. It can be the trends that you see in the news. It can be a certain narrative pumping. It can be a variety of different things. I'm just going to tell you that you need to react to market signals and find out what's going on out there. And you're going to get clear signs on when it's time to sell your crypto and go all in into your stable coins and actually cash out the 100x that you made. The way that I can help you with this is, of course, reminding you to join my private group, because my exit strategy is going to be fully detailed there and you're going to see exactly when me and my community are going to sell and when we're going to cash out all of these millions in crypto that we're going to make out of these gaming projects. And this is the way that I conclude this video. This is the best community in crypto right now, and you shouldn't hesitate to join, because you might have a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to change your life and create this generational wealth, to make this 100x and actually take the money out of it. I'm going to be your mentor. I'm going to help you out throughout the entire process. These are all the benefits that you're going to get. They're listed right here on the screen. So pause the video, screenshot it, whatever you want to do. And the track record speaks for itself. These are all the gains that I was able to generate for my private group just in these last 4 or 5 months in a full bear market. So you can't even imagine what is in the books when the bull market actually comes. I hope to see you there and help you out with your crypto investing journey. And until then, take care for now.